All right. We are live. Welcome, family, to another show. We in here. We got a great show for you guys today, man. Very entertaining show. We have a lot going on right now in these international streets. And I like to do response videos when people make statements about, passport bros or, guys traveling the world. I always got to make a response video. So this video actually got a lot of traction in the Black Man Travels 2.0 group. I want to give a shout out to them as well. Shout out to the Black Man Travels 2.0 group, man. We're growing. We're currently at about 5,000 plus members, about 5,200 men right now. And then we also have the Passport Bros group as well, man. So make sure you guys join the private Facebook Black Man Travels 2.0 and Passport Bros. Now, unfortunately, right now, for whatever reason, Facebook kind of limits our actions on the Black Men Travels 2.0 group. They said it's technical difficulties. We're not sure, but we can't really approve posts the majority of the time for whatever reason until they get that fixed. So they say. So if you posted in that group, man, you haven't seen your post get approved. That's the reason why. A lot of guys hit me up and they say, "Hey, man, why wasn't my post approved?" Well, we don't have access to the admin, unfortunately, right now. That's why we're trying to get more guys to join the Passport Bros. All right. So let me see who's all in the room. What's up, Azrael the Daywalker? What's going on, brother? How's everything going? We got IBE. That's my dude, Eli. Salute to you, bro. Okay. So, guys, everybody want to join in. I'm going to open up the panel very soon on this one, man, because I can only go by my personal opinion on my personal travels about guys hating on American brothers traveling the world, or the locals rather. I'm gonna give you my opinion, but I want everybody to come on to the panel and we can discuss your experience traveling overseas, in these foreign countries, dating women, and if you got any hate or low key eyeballing by the local men. Okay. All right, guys. So what's going on in the news today, man? What's going on, family? Let's see here. Okay, so I see that Nicki Minaj went on to the Kevin Samuels show, man. I'm gonna talk about that briefly before we get to the response video by the sister Melanieking about guys, the local guys, local foreign men basically hating on American guys. All right. So let me see who's all in the chat. We're gonna get to it. What up, Chad? Trey Tears, what's going on, Trey? What's going on, brother? All right, so let me play this little clip real quick of Nicki Minaj. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Let me go ahead and play this little quick clip. Hold on, that's another clip. Let's play that. I'm going to play that one as well. All right. So Nicki Minaj goes on the Kevin Samuels show. To me, by her body language, it looked like she was going to be kind of combative, but Kevin Samuels is a smooth operator. He kind of seemed like he kind of quelled her energy a little bit in the right direction. But I'm gonna play a quick clip of what she said on the Kevin Samuels show, real quick. Hold on. Here we go.
Real quick, can we stop posting all day on TikTok? Because I newly went to TikTok and I just kept seeing this. Black women, can we stop talking about if these successful black men want us or not? Like, can we just focus on us and we be successful, and then we go out there and we decide who the fuck we want? Because what I've been seeing is, I feel like I've been seeing men using that as an opportunity because they've been hurt and somebody done went symptoms, and they've been using it as a way to come out and lash out and poke fun at black women and use it as a way to feel like they somebody.
See, now what she's saying basically in layman terms, and Kevin kind of let her speak on this. He didn't really check her. When you have a celebrity on, she's wealthy, she's talented. I give her that. She could rap pretty good. But what she's really saying is, like, how dare you? How dare you, black men, try to check black women to hold us accountable? We know that the majority of us are kind of bad off when it comes to relationships, but how dare you? Because remember, that white man told us that we're better than y'all. We are a step above y'all. So how dare you, black man, try to check us? That's what she's kind of saying in layman terms. And Kevin was kind of like, he was real, poised about it, political about it. He just said, hey, he's been hurt on both sides. It's like I said, she's a celebrity. He knows this is going to go major viral. So he's kind of being politically correct on what he's saying. If a woman of normal status would have called in with that type of energy, I'm pretty sure he would have checked her. But for some reason, and it's very unfortunate in our community a lot of times, trying to hold American women, not just black women, but American women accountable. We see this all the time, trying to, get them to be fair, be the relationship type. They don't want to hear it half the time because what they feel is always right and they're never wrong. That's what she's basically saying. Like I said, she came on there with some, to me, by reading her body language, she came on there to kind of be combative. But Kevin, like I said, he's a smooth operator. He kind of quelled her down a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of the clip real quick for the family. Hold on.
Say something. So for all you niggas that's doing that on TikTok, wherever the fuck y'all at, eat a dick, go away. Nobody gives a shit about you.
So you hear that? You hear that? That's what sound that's personal. Now, what she's doing, what she's really talking about is her own experiences with who she's dated. All the guys she dated that hurt her feelings. What she's doing is projecting hurt, screaming out nigga this, nigga that, eat a dick, all this type of stuff. Because in reality, a lot of these women really don't want men. They want betas. They want guys who think like young boys. They want matriarchal males. They really don't want men because men will hold them accountable for all the bullshit they say. Now, keep in mind, how could you listen to a woman that's ripped her body apart? Even when she rated herself a 7. Kevin gave her a 9. He was being nice. But, I mean, come on, man. A lot of these women are extremely insecure. I mean, she got a pound of makeup on. You know what I'm saying? She got all types of plastic all over the place. If anybody saw the natural picture of Nicki Minaj, she was a cute little slim girl, but she had all these $100,000 surgeries and all this stuff. So now she's really feeling herself. She got money. She got fame. You can't really tell her nothing. Now, the unfortunate part about this situation, the real unfortunate part is the fact that she's being put, her and Megan Thee Stallion, these women are being put in the forefront by the American propaganda media machine to unfortunately influence our young, girls to look up to them because they get so much attention, they get so much fame. But a lot of times these women are actually miserable. And even despite having all the fame and all the money, they still can't hold a real relationship. She's talking down on black men. And, we're going to look over it because that's, we hear that all the time. But it's arguments going on both ways. Why is she singling us out? What up, QB Willie B? All right, let me play this little clip, man, real quick.
And I want black women to stop fucking posting about whether or not y'all want black women or not. Okay? Well, I want black women just to focus on themselves, be successful, and then you go out there and you decide the trajectory of your life. Okay?
Well, here's the thing.
Okay, that's a commercial. So basically what Kevin said was, hey, it's hurt on both sides, basically. It's hurt on both sides. Like I said, he was being he was holding himself back a little bit, but, I say this all the time, man, the programming that a lot of our women look at in America is just off. It's off kilter, man. It's real. It makes it almost like the man is of unimportance, a non-factor. Let me get that off the screen real quick. And that's just not the truth. That's just not the factual things right there. That's just not facts, man. We are important to society. We make society run on its wheels, basically. If we stop doing what we're doing, the whole world dies, And I want us as men to hold more value and just forget about women that think like that. You know what I'm saying? That think that they're so much better than everybody else for whatever reason. All right. Damon Walton says she's a 6. I give her a 7. I think she rated herself right. She don't have any real hair in there, bro. Okay, so this is a good comment. He says, Nicki is one of the women responsible for these modern women. Yeah, man. unfortunately, and we're gonna talk about this later on in the show. Unfortunately, fellas, when we don't control major institutions, we don't control major media outlets, we don't control these companies. We're subject to whatever the dominant society wants to project in front of our women and children. Now, for the most part, they know past a certain age because the society, men, we have hard lives, right? Nobody cares about us for the most part. We got to just go through it. A lot of black men don't have any type of guidance, unfortunately. So you're just getting bruised and battered, but that pressure builds the diamond, right? Unfortunately, they're sold like a Disney World fantasy by the media machine, the propaganda media machine. Now, while we're looking at the real world, we're looking at how it really goes out in the world. They're looking at something else. And that's been purposely done. All right. That's been purposely done because a matriarchy is much easier to manipulate and control than a patriarchy. When you have a strong patriarchy, man, you always run the risk of having an uprising or rebellion. Like, we want to put it all on the women, but the reality is these are other men, all right, projecting and influencing the women of our said culture, right? Because we don't control what they're seeing. We don't control any major institutions. This is why when you go to the Middle East, you go to some parts of Asia, the women act a totally different way. It's the programming that they see, all right? Those men will not tolerate somebody else from another culture coming in and broadcasting the American propaganda media machine. That's really what it really is. The biggest pimp in the world is a television station or a social platform, basically, that can control the algorithm. They can control the programming that women and children see, to think that this is it. Nicki Minaj is it. What's the other game? Megan Thee Stallion, that's it. City Girls, that's it. This is what we should be going for. And they project these images in front of our children. You go to the Middle East, they're not going to do that. I think they kill people in certain countries in the Middle East for just trying to listen to hip hop. Therefore, not say that's right, all right, but those men, those society decided, hey, we're not going to allow anybody else to come in and influence us because media is extremely powerful. Now, I've tried to done shows on this plenty of times, and sometimes I feel like that message to black men hasn't just really took hold. Now, I want to show you this real quick, family. I want to show you this real quick. I'm an avid reader of books. I thought I had some around. I must have put them up. Let me show you this real quick. Now, I really want to stress how important this book is for black men to read. I really do. Hold on, give me a second. Now, there's a couple other books that I like to read. Like I said, I don't have any near me right now, but this book right here will explain everything. All right, this book right here. Let me see if we can put that on the screen. Hold on. The Iceman's Inheritance, family. This book, once you read this book, I'm not trying to have it right here. Hold on. All right, it's just going to be right there. But yeah, check this book out right here. Hold on. Okay, don't want to add it. This book, it has a foreword by John Henry Clark. Very good foreword. So a black man wrote the foreword of this book. Hold on real quick. Very good book. This book explains a lot. Hold on, family. Give me a second. One second, family. Get my camera back on. All right. Sorry about that, family. Had to pop my camera back on real quick. Yes, this is a very good read. This is a very extremely good read because without this read, without this book, rather, it's going to be kind of difficult for you to understand what's really going on with society right now and why it is on a downhill trajectory. All right. Let me get this off the screen. So this book explains how melanated men or men of color, basically, because what the white man devised, this show is not about, white men and racism or nothing like that. But in this particular book, it explains how they always had this divide and conquer ship type of stuff, right? How they was able to kind of separate basically men of color, even though we're all referred to as, the same men of color, people of the sun, however, Hawaiians, Asians, Latinos, they kind of group us up together, in this particular book. And that's how they do in the dominant society for the most part. Anything that's non-white, all right? So what they explain is like this division and how we don't understand the method of intellectual violence that is done to our society purposely. All right, purposely, because what they do is okay, after the war is done, all right, after they've colonized and everything, they start to take away the warrior class of men, right? They get the warrior class up out of there, and they start to feminize your society. And the way they feminize your society after religion, right? Because religion is nothing more than a set of bylaws, right? It's a set of cultural bylaws. That's what religion is. But after that, what they do is they try to turn your society into a matriarchy. And the way they do that is by media, propaganda, television, now with social media. All right. And all this is explained in this book on how, these matriarchs that they form in all these societies are just very much easily controllable. All right. Let me read some of the chat. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a real good book, man. Once you read this book, and there's a real good foreword by John Henry Clark, a very famous Black author. I'm sorry, Dr. Henry Clark. Right, Dr. Henry Clark. All right, so we got Michael Bradley, sexual dysmorphia is what they suffer from. Right, exactly. Shout out to Big Will with a $5 super chat. We have to control our narrative. Exactly, family. We got to control our narrative. If we can't do it mainstream, we have to do it individually. Yeah. And the unfortunate part about that, Big Will, is it's not a lot of men in these homes 9 times out of 10. We have a large broken family rate in America for the most part, all across the world now, damn near, but specifically, we're talking about North America. So it's no man in the home to say to turn off the Nicki Minaj while their 5-year-old daughter is watching, looking up to that. Like, oh, okay, so she's getting the attention. Oh, I want to be like her. Oh, so this is how she talk to men. Oh, I'm gonna talk to boys like this. This is a big issue. Like I said, with that book I just mentioned, it will show you the levels of intellectual violence that they've done to our culture, our society for the most part. All right, family. So shout out to Big Will with that $5 super chat. We got 110 in the room. Do me a favor, guys, and make sure you hit that like button when you come in the room. Now, I'm going to play this other clip. Now, when I do response videos to YouTubers and certain YouTubers like that, I'm not one to kind of like tarnish somebody's character. I think that's corny. What I like to do is challenge somebody's talking points for the most part. Now, this post in the group, the Black Men Travelers group, got hundreds of comments, and what I noticed was it was different comments. Some guys said she was dead on, because my opinion, I haven't had any issues dating overseas with local men, and I've went out on double dates with Colombian men. He has his girl, I have my girl, So to me, it all depends, I guess, on the individual. I'm not really sure, but because you have some guys who say, "Yeah, man, the local men they hate you guys," and I'm like, really? Okay, I didn't get that. The most I got personally, just talking about my personal situation, when I was in Medellin, Colombia, and it's definitely not out here. I'm gonna show you a clip in a moment. Let me see that out here when you're talking to a female. But the most thing I got in Colombia, man, would be if I had like a real, I was dating this real pretty girl, a Venezuelan girl, and the taxi driver get lost on purpose or something like that. It'll be something like real light passive aggressive. Every time we got in the taxi, they would mysteriously get lost, even though we try to tell them exactly where to go. But other than that, man, and that's something that's just not. Well, I'm gonna show you the video first. Let me respond to the video. Let me show you, give you guys some context. I don't want to get too far of myself. Hold on.
Thing failed.
Hold on. Here we go, family. Here we go. Yes, Melanieking is pretty.
At it or succeeded at it are always, at least in my estimation, some of the best people to talk to as far as those things are concerned. If somebody has failed at marriage or a relationship, you would hope at least they've learned something from that, so they'll be useful when you ask them. Problem is, at least as I see it, I think you Americans are having your issues, but we are also having them here, especially in the urban centers. What you describe now as modern women, we have them here in droves, especially in Nairobi. So we have also a lot of divorces coming up. We have high single mother rates. The men are checking out. It is almost as if the same process is going through us too in Africa. And what used to be traditional, like we still do have a higher percentage of traditional women, so to speak, but it is not looking good, to be honest. And as I am 43, I have never been married. I'm kind of a workaholic, so I've sort of been married to my work all this time. But even the times that I've thought seriously about it, I've been discouraged so much because even when you speak to the people that have been married, it's as if they learned nothing. It's as if any advice they'll give you is about how they were wronged. Well, at least from my end, sometimes I can see how clearly they've wronged the other parties. So I have absolutely no problem with listening to people that have done it and failed. I've done so many things that I've failed at. And even then, right now, I'm self-taught in what I do. I'm a film producer. So
you're going to speak in a minute.
I failed so much over the last 10 years that I know that when I'm advising younger people coming after me, I know.
Man.
Here we go. My bad, family.
They
hold on.
Said what's going on in Africa. I just want to say this as well. Things that start usually in the US, they trickle around the world. I mean, our culture, I will say, movies, TVs, all those things, they trickle to the rest of society. I've had people in Brazil reach out, men in Brazil. There's a red pill community in Brazil of men. And some of y'all travel bros, I've said this before, they don't like y'all in the US. African men probably don't like y'all either, because what's happening, I'm not saying for sure, but I know I have been told this by that their women down there are, in comparison maybe to in the US, they're very feminine and things like that, because they see the men in the US have more money. But they are having problems with the women there in their local communities in dating, because these women feel entitled that they are going to get an American man. Because, if you want, I don't have to do that. I can get an American man with all this money. Like, that's what they're going through down there, y'all. Like, so the guys that go down there, or the guys in the Dominican Republic, they're mad at the men in the US.
Really?
I'm hearing that. And so it's this cycle, but I will say it's trickling down. But what you said about same thing in business, this is what I brought up before. And thank you, y'all. That's my father. My father super chatted me $100. That's Philip King, y'all. Say hi to Phil.
Big up Philip King.
There's Philip King. That's my dad. But I will say, yes, this is why it's important, because in business and anything, if you're listening to somebody, listen, dating and marriage and divorce, all these things are theory.
Okay, so that's basically what she mentioned. Somebody took a clip of that and they put it in the Facebook group. So we got a lot of comments right here. Everybody's saying she's capped. Somebody said, hold on. Who else? I want to see that. Marty W says, why would Brazilian men contact her? I need proof. My dog Trey Tibbs say, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of cap. Everybody saying no. See, when I first saw the clip, that's what I said. That's what I said, family. I'm like, yo, she capping. There ain't no way. I ain't really had no major issues. There's so many. That's the thing about it. How in America we have pretty much an abundance mindset, outside of, messed up neighborhoods or something like that. But for the most part, in America, there's an abundance of capital. There's an abundance of money, right? We all know that we can individually go and get our credit right, start a business, get an LLC, get, business credit and all that good stuff. And, you can kind of make money easily to a certain degree in America, right? So it's an abundance of money. Well, in South America, there's an abundance of women, all right? In the Caribbean and South America, there's a lot of women here, family. There's a lot of women. And, that American mindset of, scarcity when it comes to women, she's trying to project that onto a whole nother culture of men. I'm pretty sure she's never been just, overseas. Maybe I could see her being in Paris or something, but she's probably never been to South America in these countries, and she doesn't know. She's kind of projecting, like a comment said, fear mongering. The thing is, it's funny. This is one of the main reasons I created Black Men Travels, because when I went to Brazil, right, I started doing a lot of research before and after, and what I recognize is, women, would pretty much say bad stuff on Brazil, or they'll write these certain articles. And I'd be like, okay, wait a minute, that wasn't my experience. What is she talking about? So I say, you know what? Let me write my own blog specifically for traveling men, because it can be my perspective. Like I said, I've been on double dates with Colombian men. Like, Colombian guys will put you on, Brazilian bros will put you on, stuff like that. Like, it's a different society over here. But like I said, in the group, you had guys to say that what she said was dead on, what she said was true. Like I said, I didn't have any situations, and I've been all at their houses, partying, family members with a, I guess you would say, phenotypically, lighter complected Colombian woman, lighter complected Venezuelan woman, and I had no issues whatsoever. They just look at it different. I mean, you're American. I mean, some people will recognize that, okay, you got American dollars, you got your stuff together, because a lot of traveling men do have their stuff together, because traveling can be expensive. But to say that the local men are even paying attention to us, I mean, they got, hell, especially in the Caribbean, especially in the DR, they got women all over that island, fam. I mean, come on, bro. They got like different, not all, I'm just saying, like, if you've been in Dominican Republic, those guys are not really, hurting for pretty women out there like that. They, like I said, they got them. You know what I mean? Hold on. Grego says they're going to try to suppress Black men all around the world. Everybody saying this cap. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drop a link, because I don't want to talk about my personal experience. Like I said, I have had no issues whatsoever in Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic. I have no issues whatsoever with any of the local guys out here in concerns of dating women. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and drop a link real quick. Hold on. Here we go. So if any of you guys want to come on, just tell us your experiences in your travels, and if you encounter any hate from the local men. All right. I just posted a link in the chat. We'll wait till a few guys come on in the room. I'll post it one more time for the fam. Here we go. All right. While I have you guys' attention, while you're waiting for guys to come in the chat, I'm going to give you guys a real quick update on the Indiegogo campaign. All right. Let me give you guys an update on that while we have everybody here. Let me hit this real quick. All right. So, family, right now, we are at $4,398 in the Indiegogo campaign, and we have about $1,500 in the Cash App. All right. For the crowdfunding for the BMT mobile app. So patch yourselves on the back, guys. We're getting there. We got 23 days left. If you haven't donated yet, and basically you're kind of paying up front to utilize the mobile app, it's going to be a private social network. Like I said, we've been having issues with the Facebook group, the BMT group. We can't even approve posts right now, guys. So this is going to be a really dope private network, man. Our own network, our own communication. It's going to have geotagging. It's going to have all types of group benefits, man. This is the thing right now, man. We're really going to do this, And it's going to be a good situation for all of us, bro. Like we're going to all benefit from this because we're going to control the algorithm. We're going to control the narrative in our own private social network. So if you haven't already donated, make sure you guys go by there and donate. Like I said, we got 23 days left. So we got about 19,000 more to go. We're going to get there, man. We can get there. And then we're going to use that to hire one of the best developers in the game, Les Mitchell, to develop the app, who's developed apps for Ford and GM. All right, family? Let me see who's okay. Nobody came in just yet. Hold on. All right, let me go ahead and so yeah, man. Make sure you join the Kickstarter campaign or donate to the Kickstarter campaign when you get a chance. Let's adjust that real quick. All right, let me see what's going on in the comment section. Okay, let's see here. It's a long comment. Shout out to Trey Tibbs. He said he donated to the app. I got you, bro. Appreciate that. Andre, crossing borders. Oh, man, if you want to come on, that would be great, bro. If you got time. If you got the time, come on, because you're dating a Colombian woman right now. If you had any strife or any beefs with the local men for dating the local women there, let us know. All right. Quincy Cordoba said he donated. That's what's up. Appreciate that, Quincy. All right. Mario W says, me neither of my treatment by the men there was Gucci. Like I said, I haven't had any issues, man. The most I had, I would say, because this happened almost every single time I was with her, pretty Venezuelan woman, you know, the little passive aggressiveness, you know, or a guy might speak Spanish so fast I might not be able to pick up on, you know, what he's saying, you know, and she might just like kind of like be like whatever with this guy, you know. Yeah, are there some advantages that the local men might, you know, realize, like say, hey, you know, those guys are American, they got American money, you know, they also have to ask like what you do, you know, for a living, you know, so you tell them what you do, stuff like that. But I'm telling you, man, it's just a different world out here. It really is a different world out here. And what she's saying was a lot of projection, you know, for some odd reason. It's weird, right? Like they're very picky on deciding who they want to be with. You know, the high divorce rate, all that good stuff, right, in America. Yet it's almost like when they find out that men are traveling the world, going to different countries, especially, I'm telling you, Brazil is a trigger word. That's why she mentioned it. Brazil is a trigger word with any American woman. You mentioned Brazil, even in Colombia. Right? You mentioned two countries, Brazil or the DR, and they get highly triggered because they know these countries have gorgeous women out there. And they don't want that pool of, you know, men to dry up. The easily manipulated, the beta males, the simps. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that pool to dry up because they had it so good. They had a whole Brian McKnight era. You know, they had the whole, you know, R&B era, Romance in the Stone type of guys. You know what I mean? The game guys. They had so much attention. Men were so available, you know, with the dating game. And now some of these men are getting passports and they're taking their services elsewhere. Not to say that the guys who are traveling are simps or betas, but that's how they look at it. They look at it like, okay, these guys got money to travel. Like if I tell any American woman, I remember my ex-girlfriend called me maybe a month or two ago. She called me up and she had no idea I was in Brazil. And, you know, we talked for a little moment and she could not get over it. She was like, well, wait a minute, Aaron. You live there? I'm like, yeah, I've been living here for a couple of months now. And she was just like, oh, right away she went to the women. She was like, oh, so the women there, do they date, men? They date American men, foreign men? Do you speak Portuguese? I'm like, I'm learning Portuguese right now. You know, I'm getting there, but I can still communicate. Okay. And she was like, okay, so let me ask you this. This is exactly how this conversation went. She's like, let me ask you this. Do you understand that these women will try to use you to get to America? I said, that's not really true. No. These women got jobs and careers and education. It's, no, it's not, they might want to visit America, but to get up and go and, you know, to say that they'll be in a relationship with me just to get a green card in Brazil, I'm like, that's highly unlikely. You know, visas are difficult for Brazilians to get to America, but a lot of Brazilians that went to America weren't big fans of it once they experienced it. You know, they pretty much, what people do in America, man, is work and come back home. They work and send the money back home. That's what they really do overseas for the most part. That whole narrative being driven that, you know, foreign women only want men because of money and green cards and all that. That's that 90-day fiance stuff. A lot of that stuff isn't even true, family. You know what I mean? Yeah, she was mad. Yeah, of course she was mad. You know, and the funny thing is, this is the funny thing about when you get older, right? And some of the women you was in relationships with in the past, right? You know, I was in a relationship with her all the way back in 2012, 2013 and whatnot. She actually lives with a man, or a man lives with her. Yet she's calling me. Another ex-girlfriend of mine, been married only 1 year. She was like, hey, can I come to Colombia? Can you show me around? It's going to be a girls trip. I'm like, shorty, you just got married last year. Why don't you and your husband just visit Colombia? And she's like, no, he's fine. I'm going to come out here and me and my girls, maybe you can show us around. I'm like, you ain't even been married. You haven't even been married a whole 365 days and you already doing you basically, you know? What we have to understand, man, is, you know, and I know her really well. You know, we was together for a long time and I know her get down basically. And in her mind, I can kind of think how she was thinking when she got married to that guy, because there's an older brother, you know, maybe like 15 some years older than her, you know, older cat, you know, got his paper together, and she was looking for help. She's looking for support. She looks like, well, she used to look like Paula Patton, not so much anymore, but she saw that clock was ticking, and she just got married. You know, she just wanted support, fam. That's what a lot of these women just won't support. It's not really about the love. It's about having more disposable income to go shopping 9 times out of 10. All right. All right. Shout out to Andre. He says, Colombian dudes were great wingman for me always. Yeah, man. I mean, I got a Venezuelan homeboy. Out there in Medellin, man. You know, love the cat to death, man. He just be finessing the hell out of American women. He be finessing them so serious. He just be like, you know, I'll be like, bro, you know, so the game is the game. Either way it goes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Andre. Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm at a doctor's office at the moment, getting my annual physical here in Colombia. Wish I could come on a live stream. Yeah, we could do another one day, bro. It's no problem. Because I know you have a lot to offer on the subject. I kind of wanted to get some guys' opinions, though. I want some guys to come on and be like, maybe they had a bad experience. Maybe they had some guys hating on him. Now, I did hear over there in Africa, you know, somebody was telling me that, you know, the guys in, like, you know, some of these African countries like Uganda, you might see more hatred there. Like, guys might be hating on the American guys for, you know, for dating the local women there. I've heard that. But as far as Brazilians and Colombians, and she spoke specifically on Brazil, you know, I just don't see that, man. This is what happens. This is what happens in Brazil for the most part when you're talking to a woman. All right. So we got my guy. Went a little slow there. So you got my guy, Dennis John Pierre. All right. He's in there just talking to a female. You see how everybody just walking by minding their business, bro. Everybody's minding their business. Shout out to my guy, Dennis John Pierre, man. I just did an interview with him. I posted the interview at 12 o'clock today. So check that interview out. It's a really good interview. Explains on how to approach women in Brazil, also the cost of living and all that good stuff as well. So make sure you check that video out. I got a super chat here. Let me see if I can catch it where you at. All right. Shout out to Tech and Wonderlust. Now, let me go ahead and drop a link in the chat one more time for the fam. See if we can get anybody to come on before we go. All right. Aaron, what are your thoughts on the talking point I hear from women? Or you are just a fetish to foreign women? You know what, man? Not a fetish part. I have heard that somewhat in Eastern Europe. You know, with the, you know, they look straight down at your, you know, your Johnson and stuff. I've heard that before. You know, you're going to have some women, you know, of other cultures that all know the stigma. They've all talked about, you know, a black man's endowment or whatnot like that, you know. that could be possible. That definitely could be possible. Maybe not so much in South America because there's so many Afro people here, but maybe some places like Eastern Europe or Russia, I can definitely see women looking at you kind of like a fetish, like they want to just sleep with a black guy, or you were here. I never slept with a black man before. Not so much here, but definitely Eastern Europe. I'm trying to think if a woman ever told me that she's never slept with a black dude. I've never really gotten that. Like we're in a time now with Tinder and the internet that these women are just hopping around doing what they want to do, man. I mean, if they hook up with somebody from outside their race, half the time you would never know, or they family would never know. It's just a hookup. Now, I will say that I had a friend of mine that was stationed in South Korea that used to hook up with South Korean women, and they used to keep that kind of on the low a little bit. And I had a friend of mine, DJ J, in I think it was China. He was saying, China. He was saying that they kind of hook up on the low too. So that could be possible in maybe those countries. Let me catch this other super chat real quick. Hold on, family. Shout out to Greg for the $5 super chat. He says, hopefully by 2023, I can travel out the country. I got my plan in motion to work in the digital nomad areas. So I go to Medellin, Colombia, solo style. Shout out to Greg with the $5 super chat. Yeah, you know what, man? I will say this. Medellin has decent internet. But Brazil, for that digital nomad, man, they really gonna have to improve on their internet, bro. They really gonna have to improve on the internet here. It's real patchy. It's good sometimes. Sometimes it's not so good. All right. All right, family. Let me see what we got in the chat. He said, I don't have good panel etiquette. All right, family. All right. Yeah, I wanted to get some guys' opinions because, like I said, I have never had any type of issue in DR, Colombia, Brazil at all with the local men. Especially not Colombia. Man. Like I said, maybe not even any real like stern looks. Everybody just pretty much minds their business. Everybody likes in Brazil. I would say this about Brazil. Brazil, if you want a mixed mulatto woman or you want to date like a lighter complected woman or a Japanese woman or anything like that, Brazilian Japanese, this is the country to do that. Because every commercial I see it's like a interracial couple or mixed women. Like it's a very mixture here. Everybody's kind of dating others, basically. Like you'll see the lighter complected women with the black guys and vice versa. You'll see the darker complected women with the lighter Portuguese guys. This is from what I'm seeing, at least here in Rio. You go to the mall, you see a lot of mixed couples. Like, so this is basically, if you want to date interracially, this is probably one of the better cities to be in Rio de Janeiro. All right, Greg says it'll be my first time going out the country as well. Appreciate that $5 super chat, man. Colombia is a good spot to go to, man, because it's a large expat community in Colombia. One of the things about Colombia is you can do the hostel circuit. Like we hang out hostels all day. We go out at night. We be at different restaurants. You'll run into a lot of Americans and a lot of Europeans in Medellin. So you'll be perfectly fine. It's a great city to kind of transition out of America, and the infrastructure is good too. It's not like a major level down, or anything like that. All right, let me see who this is. SYSBM for life. Yo, what's going on, bro?
What's happening? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yo, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You got the camera facing.
Hey, man, this stuff was all camera and shit.
Bro, we can barely. You got to get some headphones or something, bro. We can barely hear you. Hey, just come back in. Just come back in, bro. All right, we'll let him fix that, get his stuff together, and we'll bring him back on in. All right. Shout out to Trey Till. He says, definitely want to digital nomad. Colombia is still my first destination. I had a friend of mine. She was saying that Facebook, she's a very talented young lady, and she was saying that Facebook wanted to hire her, but she would have to work in America. And they probably came with a good little check. And the interviewer was wondering like, yo, I guess the interview kind of picked up on like she wasn't really trying to, work for them like that, which is will throw, Facebook, the mega Facebook. Wait a minute, you don't want to work for Facebook? You know what I'm saying? It almost reminds you of that scene. Remember that famous scene of Will Smith when he went to Princeton, and you know what I'm saying, the guy was like, at first he was like, hold up, you don't want to apply to Princeton, and Will Smith is like, not really. The thing was, they wanted her to work in America, and she was just like, oh wait a minute, you want me to work in America? I'm good. No, I'm fine. She rather work where she's working now, where she can work, pretty much live overseas. Like Andre said, I would rather take 50 grand a year over 100 grand a year and have to live in America, because your exchange rate is so powerful here 9 times out of 10. These countries are very reasonable, and you can definitely have a job paying 50, 65, 75,000 and live a great life in the Caribbean and South America. SYSBM for life. I'm gonna bring you up again, bro. Hope you got your audio fixed. Yo, SYSBM, you there? All right, bro. Okay. I don't want to slow the show down. All right. So, yeah, family. Maybe we'll do another show later on the day. Like I said, I really wanted other people's opinions because I didn't want to just speak on it myself. Now, I haven't heard any issues at all from any of my friends. I'm really trying to think if I heard any issues of the local men in these foreign countries really, hating or having some type of vitriol towards American men for dating their women, and I can say I haven't had any personal experiences, I haven't even had any stern looks, shout out to my friend Xavier. He said, you in Eastern Europe somewhere in an all white location, you show up with a blonde haired white girl, you might get a few stares, but that's it for the most part. And that's in Eastern Europe. In South America, everybody's mixing, man. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And another good thing now, I will say this though. She mentioned in the video about feminism spreading, across South America and these foreign countries. I can see that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Our media is all over the place. They listen to our music, man. They watch our movies, they listen to our music. And within that, a lot of women here are starting to speak more English. Like I met 3 women yesterday in Rio that all spoke English. I was shocked. I'm like, yo, you speak English? She's like, yeah, I speak 3 different languages. One spoke Japanese, so with that language comes influence because now they understand the videos, the music, the movies, all right? And now the social media for the most part. So I can see that to a certain degree, but it's still very different, man. It's still not the same as actually being or dating an American woman. It's just differences. Out here, they tend to like to take care of you a little bit. The girl I'm dating right now, the Japanese girl I'm dating, man, she's, she takes care of her, bro. When she works a lot. So, but when we together, she does everything, man. And that right there can really, assist a brother in helping him accomplish his goals. And that's what men want for the most part. A woman that's going to help us. All right. So, yeah, man. Marquise 912 says, I've never had an issue with the local men. All right. So everybody's saying they have an issue. Like I said, I was shocked in a Facebook group when guys were saying that, yeah, the local men hate us and why would they like us? And I'm sitting here like, man, you know how many homeboys I got in Colombia and Venice and in the DR and now Brazil? Like everybody's just kind of doing their own thing, man. It's a lot of women out here, bro. It is a lot of women out here. All right. For the most part, everybody just mind their business. I don't think people are gonna, single you out, but like, hey, you see that American guy with that pretty Brazilian woman? Get him. We hate Americans. No, it's not like that. What it really is trying to fearmonger to a certain degree. Because, like I said, for whatever reason, when black men do something, the whole world wakes up. It's got to be something off. It's got to be something wrong. There's no way in the world these women will want us overseas, right? But like I said before, men, you have an inherent value. Just because they don't see it, you go where you're most valued. Now, you heard how Nicki Minaj came out. You heard she came. Screw you niggas this, screw you that, screw you that, F y'all, girls, get your stuff together, date who you want. Okay, cool. That's cool. We'll do that. We have no issue. Remember, we're not projecting anything on anybody. We're standing in our lane. The Travel Bros, we're standing in our lane. We're constantly being brought up because it's on their minds. Because that's just a lot of guys who travel, women are interested in guys who travel for one of the main reasons. How can he afford to travel? How can he afford to live overseas? What he got going on to where this man can live overseas? Curiosity. All right. They're curious. They want to know, like, how many times you travel? You know, most women are able to travel a week, 2 weeks, and you got these black men traveling the world, you know, 5-6 times out the year, staying in these foreign countries and dating the women. That could be an issue. Let me see who's here. Let me see who we got here. PG Kid. Hold on, I'm gonna pull you up, bro. I'm gonna pull you up. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on? I'm here in Medellin. I met you once down at the pool hall in Medellin.
Oh, yeah. That's what's up, man. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't had like walking down the street with a Colombian girl and the dudes are like mean mugging me, nothing, but I have had some direct issues with specific girls that I've been going out with where you know, I'm kind of helping her out a little bit economically, and then she has got another dude in her barrio, in her neighborhood, that's trying to get at her, or they got something going on, and I'm kind of like a thorn in his side because kind of exactly what the lady was saying in that video. You know, the guy in the barrio can't 100% run that girl's life like he wants to because she's got me on the side too. You know, I got the American guy on the side, so
right.
He's not going to just do whatever he says. And I've had some issues where the girl was going out with a Colombian dude in her neighborhood, and this has happened to me twice, where where the guy followed her to meet me and showed up by surprise and slapped the shit out of her. And I'm just like, holy shit. And the second time it happened, the guy wanted to fight me, but I didn't want to participate. And she just left with him. She told me he slapped the shit out of her. I mean, it's normal for these Colombian guys.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, something like that can happen, you know, in the States as well. That's, to me, that seems like if you was a Colombian guy, the same thing would have happened.
Yeah.
You know
but I feel like these Colombian guys might have some those particular Colombian guys might be mad at Americans because his girl was fucking with this American guy throwing around.
Try to keep it clean as possible, bro.
Oh,
you know, we on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like those particular guys in particular may be upset at American guys because they figure this is a second option that the girl has because we got, you know, money. So I think in those cases, if you ask those particular guys, they might say something bad about Americans because of that particular experience that they had.
Okay. All right. So I mean, you make a valid point though. I mean, I can see that happen. That's why I wanted to get people on to tell me their experiences because, like I said, I've never been through that. I've never been through anything like that, you know. So yeah, man. Were these like were these Paisas or these like Afro-Colombians, you know?
Paisas girls.
Okay. Yeah. So the guy got up and slapped her and he come at you too, or he just got out?
Nah, the first time it happened, that was kind of she got out the car and I walked inside the building and I was watching from behind the glass doors of my building. I was just watching the whole scene play out. She told me, hey, give me 1 second, because this guy was all in her face. I didn't know who it was. I didn't realize it till later that was her baby's daddy. And
oh wow, that's the thing, man. At the same time, bro, I'm telling you, this could happen in America. Like,
yeah, it can happen.
Is it specifically because you're an American guy?
But I feel like this could contribute to, like, if those particular guys are upset at American men, it would be my fault for what happened in those situations. So there may be some guys around here, Colombian guys, that are upset at Americans if they've run into a situation like I'm describing.
Now I want to mention what it's Jay Clyde just mentioned. He said that's because his chick is cheating on her dude. Totally different scenario. You see what I'm saying? Like that's
but
different.
A lot of these girls down here are doing that, cheating on their Colombian guys because they got another option.
Now I will say this. I picked up on this like the first 6 months I was in Colombia. I was like, yo, ain't nobody faithful out here. Everybody trying to, there ain't nobody faithful out here. Like you'll be sitting here trying to have a, like learn Spanish, right? You got a Spanish tutor, right? And she's trying to get at you on the low, like, you know what I'm saying? Like texting you late at night. You be like, yo, you a married woman, yo, like texting me how I'm doing at 10 o'clock at night. You my Spanish teacher, So yeah. I mean, that happens. It happens, man. Most definitely, bro.
The other thing I was gonna say, sometimes I've like gone to the strip club and the girls want tips, and some of the Colombian guys are just like, don't tip them. So, like they don't tip at all, or they look at me like, why are you tipping her? Like,
yeah. See that now. I could definitely understand that. Like going in there. I remember I was in what club was that? Damn, the main club, the La Isla. I was in La Isla one time, and dudes was just throwing money. I'm sitting here like, man, y'all about to get your ass robbed like a and I believe it was a fight that night. It was a fight that night, man. You got to respect somebody else's culture. If the men say don't do something, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? This your lane. This your country. You know what I'm saying? All day. Specifically, especially when it comes to, their women per se. That's just out of respect. You feel me? Yeah, man. How long you been out there in Colombia?
5 years.
Oh, nice. So you fluent with the Espanol?
Yeah, I got the Spanish pretty much down. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Man, what's been going on in Colombia, bro? Let me ask this real quick because I'm hearing things, man. I'm hearing that it's not as what it used to be. Like, what's going on in Colombia currently?
I mean, I'm still enjoying it, but when you say it's not like it used to be, what specifically are you?
Like people ain't partying like they used to or something like that. That's what like the fun is. The park is not what it used to be and all that good stuff.
I feel like it still is. I mean, you go down to Parquilleras. I mean, it's still popping. A lot of people. I mean, I don't know if because of restrictions, but the restrictions are easing up. So,
okay, what's the current restrictions now?
If you want to fly in, you got to be fully vaccinated.
Right.
And if you're not fully vaccinated, you need the a COVID test, negative test.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly, you're supposed to go to restaurants. They're supposed to ask you for the COVID, the vaccination card, but 9 times out of 10, they're not asking you for it. But the government says they're supposed to.
Okay. But there's no curfews or anything like that right now.
Nah, no curfews. It's been a long time since I've had curfews.
Okay. And you've been staying pretty much in Medellin the whole time, or have you lived in other cities in Colombia?
Medellin. I mean, I have visited like 3-day weekend in another city, but pretty much always here.
Now, let me ask you this real quick. I didn't mean to turn this into an interview, but it's good that you living in Colombia, man. Did you live in any other countries before deciding to move to Medellin?
Nah, this is the only place I've ever lived outside of the States. So
okay, and if you don't mind me asking, where are you from originally?
DC area, outside of DC, suburbs.
Okay. All right, now let me ask you this. Was it like a hard transition from living in DC to living in Medellin? Did it take you some time to get adjusted, or you just hit the ground running?
Pretty much hit the ground running. Now the Spanish, I came here without knowing any Spanish, so I got on Duolingo, tried to pick up some words, but then getting into a regular conversation, real-time conversation, it was still impossible. So I got a tutor here. My tutor actually didn't speak any English. He just explained everything to me in Spanish, so that helped. But having this personal tutor really got me up and running, and that was the really only thing that was difficult, is just the language barrier, but got over that relatively quickly in the first year.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you know what? It takes, I've heard on average, most people about 2 years, but that first year, you start to at least understand a lot of it. It's just that you might speak it back slowly, or you might have to process it before you speak it back. That's kind of at the level I'm at right now, but I understand the majority. And if it's written, I understand all of it. It's just getting your ears adjusted to the speed that it comes out with. But luckily, Colombians speak pretty clear. They don't speak super fast, because I was at a bar. Was it night before last? No, last night. Yeah, last night I was at a bar, and it was Chile and Bolivia playing. Right, so there was some Chileans there at the bar, and they were speaking super fast Spanish. I'm like, bro, I don't understand nothing they're saying.
Yeah, no, I still get lost when they speak amongst themselves. I
Mhm.
still get lost. I mean, it's just it's almost like another language once they get comfortable amongst themselves. When they talk directly to me, it's a little more manageable, but
Mhm.
amongst themselves, if
Hey man,
Right.
my favorite phrase is "hablo despacio, por favor."
yeah,
Speak slowly, please. All right. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you giving us, your opinion. Like that's what I wanted. I wanted guys to, let me know. But from my personal opinion, bro, that seemed what your situation went through seemed like a girl just got caught up. A couple of girls got caught up cheating more so than the actual men, like, you know what I'm saying, or hate American men or anything like that. I think that's more of a, you was smacking somebody's girl, bro. That could happen anywhere.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. That could happen anywhere, but I think those guys are mad at American men because of
Mhm.
that. I think that's all I was saying.
Yeah. You know what, man? I will say this. I was at another bar. Not like I go out all the time, but I was at another bar, and I was talking to a Brazilian woman that spoke English. She speaks pretty good English, and I was asking her about the dating and everything out here and how the women. And she was just like, "Oh, you're American. You get all the advantages. All the women are going to want to prefer to talk to you over a Brazilian guy." And I'm like, "Why? Because it's just because of the money." And she was just like, "Yeah, the money, the education. You're from America." She can brag to her friends, "I'm dating an American guy." Just interesting, more so than the money portion of it. And that's why I want to kind of tell to the bros, like, yo, it's not all about just the money with these women. You just from somewhere else. Just imagine if let's say I want to say a country, a Cape Verde. Most people don't really not know where Cape Verde is, but a country like that, or let's say Morocco would come to Atlanta or DC, and women find out like, okay, wait a minute, you're Moroccan or you're from Cape Verde. They're gonna be like, okay, that conversation is gonna be interesting to them off rip, just for being from
Well,
somewhere else.
yeah. The other thing I wonder is though, do we treat women in general better than like let's say the Colombian guys here? Because the
All
stories
day.
my girls have told me is like the Colombian boyfriend or husband never wanted them to ever leave the house. Uh, if they got jealous, they'll slap the
Yep.
shit out of them, which I've seen
Mm-hmm.
in person. I mean, if a girl cheat on me, I'm not gonna slap the shit out of her. I mean, I'm not. And if we live together, I'm not gonna tell her don't ever leave the house. You
Mm-hmm.
can't have a life. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I guess I can't speak for all American men, but I feel like we would treat the women differently than these local Colombian guys do.
I've heard that as well. I've heard, even Colombian women say like, yeah, dating American guys is cool. We laid back with it for the most
Laid
part.
back, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we laid back with it. Like we're not, as controlling as maybe their men are. And I noticed something like even the girl I'm dating here, before she comes, she'll always ask me what she should wear. Even if she just coming here, even if we're not going nowhere, because these women in Brazil dress like they're at the beach 24/7, skin everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, put some jeans on today, put a shirt on today, not a halter top. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Like they're used to, like, American girl's not gonna ask me what she should wear 9 times out of 10. She's just gonna wear whatever the hell she wants to wear. Versus
Yeah.
here, Brazil and Colombia, even my ex-girlfriend in Colombia would be like, because all her clothes look like straight, just I ain't gonna say trampy, but racy, voluptuous clothes for girls. And she'd be
Yeah.
like, Aaron, if you want me, we
I
gotta
was
go
gonna
shopping.
ask
If you want me to have something like like a dress or something, we gotta go shopping. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But go ahead, what you gonna say?
one other thing. Like, have you ever been going out with like a Colombian girl and she says she's doing something and then she sends you a picture to prove that that's what she's actually doing?
Bro,
It's like
it's the
you
same
don't
way
have to
here in
prove.
Brazil. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes me think like these jealous Colombian guys like always want the girl to prove that she's actually where she says she is. I'm like, you
Yeah.
don't have to send me a picture.
You know what I learned? How in America we kind of like to joke around with the women. At least me, joke around with the women like, Oh, you at the gym? Your ass ain't at the gym. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? Just kind of go back. They don't like that. Like they be
Right.
dead ass, and like you
Yeah.
said, that's in the picture. I'm at the gym. See, I'm like, yo, I'm just joking around. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll be forgetting that. You know what I'm saying? Like the little things like that. Like they be dead serious. Like you try to joke around a little bit. Like we might say something like, what you did last night? You out there partying with your girls all night. You know, just something silly like that. And they'd be like, no, I was home. I was home all night. You want my cell phone records? Listen, here's my mom. Tell him I was home all night. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
relax, baby. I'm just joking around. You know, so yeah, I could definitely see that, man. I could definitely see that, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, once again, bro, appreciate you coming on the show, man. And you in the Facebook group?
Yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, hit me up, bro. I'm gonna be back in Colombia soon, man. Hit me up.
Okay, cool.
All right, peace.
All right.
All right, man. All right, family. So that I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it on up. Good show, very good show. That was a very good balance. You know, he was saying that hey, some Colombian men might not like you. You know, speaking specifically on Colombia. You know, taking some of the women and all that good stuff. But like I said before, man, me personally, I haven't had any issues whatsoever dating overseas for the most part. Everybody tends to mind their own business. You know, now cheating and all that good stuff, you definitely got to be careful, especially in Colombia. Especially in Colombia. You don't want to get caught up in a love triangle or, any type of, web when it comes to romance anywhere in the world. You know, if she says she's single, because the thing about it is, I've talked to Colombian women 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you if they got a boyfriend or not. You know, they'll just say, hey, we can be friends. They like to say we can be friends. That's what they like to say in Colombia. We can be friends. So you definitely want to be careful with that and make sure that, hey, are you single, or you got a boyfriend? Let me know, because if that's the case, either I have the decision to not want to date you, or you got to move very carefully because they will pull up, and you got some straight pint-sized killers in Colombia all day long, man. All right, so that's what's up, man. Great show. Peace, family.